darlings, welcome to a new vlog starting off at 3 p.m. in the afternoon. I don't know why, but I have been really putting off starting and vlogging today. There's lots going on today, a lot to fill you in on. Oh my goodness, I don't really know where to start. As you might have guessed from the title of this video, I do have an announcement within this video, and we have been very cruelly teasing this news for a little while if you've been catching up with the other vlogs, but I have to wait just a couple of hours until everything is sorted, and then I can let you know what is going on. We have been secret squirreling, that is for sure, but while we wait for everything to be sorted, I'm going to give you a little bit of an update as to what has been going on here, because there have been some really exciting changes today. So yeah, I'm going to go and give you a little tour, a little update. We've also had some nice deliveries. As you will have seen from those clips a second ago, we went to Daylesford for lunch, and even though it's a grey day, it is a very miserable day, I love this area so much. I just love driving around. I love going through the lanes, even though the fields, we've got nothing growing in them at the moment. There's no pretty wildflowers springing up yet. This whole area, the Cotswolds, I always knew it was beautiful, but I just feel so very lucky to live in such a beautiful part of the world. We were just feeling very, very grateful on our drive to Daylesford. I went a little bit crazy. It's actually the most I've ever spent in Daylesford in one go. I'm very excited to show you what we purchased. I've actually just eaten about a fifth of what we purchased. The most scrumptious salad and quiche while we watched a presentation from a brand that we're working with this year. And again, I'm very excited to tell you more about that. Charlie shouting to the dogs. Yeah? What's he got? Biscuits? Where? Where is there some biscuits?
There were four. There were four, and these boys have been having the time of their lives.
Oh, you little pterodactyl. Don't give them more.
Just a little bit.
Little fat little bunny rabbits.
I tell you what, Mummy, we love hobnobs. They're
Yes,
our favourite.
we absolutely bloody love hobnobs. Unfortunately, it is rather rainy outside, but I just wanted to show you something I treated myself to for the greenhouse at Daylesford. This is a very bougie watering can, and it's got very fine little holes here, so when I'm watering my seedlings, it'll be a very, very fine watering instead of like pouring gallons of water on and potentially disrupting the soil or disrupting the seeds. So very pleased with that little treat, and I'm very eager to give it a go. I don't know if I've shown you in here over the last couple of days. Dickie! But I have now officially run out of room for any more growing space. Dickens! He's found a way through the hedge. Gosh, we have some real growth here with my little peas. A couple of broad beans coming through, and this is impressive considering it's cold in this greenhouse, so I'm very impressed with my peas. More peas showing good signs of life over here, a lot less leggy than the ones in the house. Cosmos. I'm going to go to the coach house in a second and see how my plants are doing that are in Lala's windowsill. I've had lots of you guys asking me why I call Mum Lala in recent videos in the comments, so I'll give you the full story of that later on. You can see my sweet peas here are very leggy. I think it won't be long until they need to be, what's the word, pinched out. Right, where has Dickens gone?
There's a sparkle in your eyes. I feel the warmth of your skin. Just the touch of your hand makes me tremble within. Love the smell of your hair.
It is a very good job that I am a few days ahead with my vlogging, because this is going to have to become a multiple day vlog because it is already the end of the day. It is 6 p.m. Today's been manic, and you will very soon realise why. I think I'm going to reveal and explain everything tomorrow because it will just make a lot more sense tomorrow. My goodness. But we have just switched off working for the weekend, hallelujah, and we're just about to go for a little stroll around the garden. Today has been another really busy day in the garden, tying up lots of loose ends. As you can see, the boys are absolutely exhausted, oh my goodness. Okay, so I've just brought you outside. We've come for our evening walk. It's going to be a quick evening walk because it's quite dank is the word I'd use to describe.
Isn't that a word that rappers use?
No, that's mank.
No, that's Manchester, if you're from Manchester.
Oh really? I don't know. But dank means like...
blow you away though.
Right, dank means it's like cold and wet in the air. So this is a photo that we have.
It's got to be late 1800s, early 1900s. It's pre-World Wars, I think.
Yeah. And that is obviously a lady coming out and walking through her herbaceous garden.
She looks quite angry.
Because she hasn't been watering her plants by the looks of it.
Yeah, she's had a shocker.
But in our bid to restore the garden to its former glory, we have this gorgeous plan here from Nicholson's. This is a planting proposal for our borders, herbaceous border.
Some people on Instagram, because we shared this on Old House, lost their minds. They were like, oh my god, you got married, you didn't tell us. Don't worry, not yet.
Not yet. So, on here we have all of the Latin names. So, well, I understand some of this. Allium purple, anemone.
Anemones, yeah. Salvias. Salvias are those purple ones that come up. They're like almost like purple Wotsits.
Oh.
Do you know what? I'm wondering whether I should do a Jamie Oliver to gardening and just make up names for all these. So like Salvia
Microave
is a purple Wotsit. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like hydrangea is pom-pom flower.
Yeah.
And just reinvent, because what I would say is, I tell you what has been the biggest and most amazing thing about Nicholson's, and just to be clear, we are fully normal paying customers. They've not given us anything in return for this coverage, but we're talking about them because they're amazing, is the fact that the guys are so willing to give all the advice. And both you and I have asked a lot of questions and they've answered all of them, and we've learnt so much as to like for example, why the trees are planted in the way they are, in terms of, you know, the fruit trees that are on the right are hard-stoned fruit trees, so plums and cherries, but also they get pruned in the summer. The trees on the left in the orchard are all apple and pears, and they get pruned in the winter.
That's amazing. Very handy for us. Where are the doggies?
So they're there, they're fine.
I can see one, but I can't see two.
She's around the back there, but you can hear
Okay.
her.
So this basically is going to be a mega herbaceous border along the front of the house. You can see we've got a couple of flagstones out here, which will be our little stepping stones. So this will be the only place that we can access this lawn. So the doggies better get used to it and not trotting through the flower beds. We really have to train the dogs.
We are going to have to. It's going to be quite an adjustment. And I think the key here is, if you look around the garden, this is the best place to put flower beds, because really, you know, we've got the borders here and we have no beds.
No.
And
it is a blank canvas.
And the other point I wanted to make actually quickly, because we have been so blessed with this house, and Stephen, the previous owner, his wife sadly passed away. He never got to the garden. So they would have got to the point of doing the garden, and they never did quite yet.
Charlie's just dashing off because that could potentially be our pizzas that we've got for dinner. I'll be amazed if it is. But yeah, just to show you, these red lines on the floor are the width of the borders. They're about 2 meters wide, and then obviously it widens up down here where the patio widens up. So it's going to be one heck of a border. You will notice another very exciting addition along here. We now have 8 beautiful, well, they will be beautiful, ornamental pear trees, and Charlie wants to show you his favourite thing about them. What is it, darling?
So it's called the money shot, which is where they've lined them up. So we've got 8, 4 on each side, but if you look, they are just perfectly aligned.
If you move yourself to the right a little bit, yeah, they are literally perfectly aligned.
So they'll be coming back next week. They're going to put bark and a mulch on top of them. They do that at the end.
Okay.
And then for 2 years we have to keep obviously the framework on them, and then after the 2 years they'll be fine.
But that's fine actually. The framework isn't offensive looking at all.
It's nicely done.
Yeah.
It's very nicely done. But I mean, they've just done a phenomenal job. Even how they get perfect circles.
And yeah, that's true. It would kind of annoy me if they weren't. In a couple of weeks, these will be blossoming, and then in a few years, they will get beautifully voluminous. I showed you pictures of these in spring and summer and autumn and winter in a previous video.
Oh, yeah, and do you know the main reason I love them? Obviously, the main reason we wanted them is the white blossom, but also the fact that they have a lovely colour in autumn, and they're one of the last trees to lose their leaves. So my belief is these will hold their leaves till like end of October.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
And then
oh my goodness. So obviously the white foam that you can see is going to get covered.
There's a piece of oak going over, basically.
Yeah.
You can see now why it has to happen, because it does stand out like a sore thumb, that piece of wood. So that piece of wood will get clad with another piece of oak. So the light fitting needs to come off. They've left the lights on, but that's not a problem because it gives us a nice little indication of
the glow. Gosh, it looks fantastic. So here we have it, our newly enclosed gym, no longer open to the elements. Gosh, this is exciting. We should be careful that that doesn't, does that need a door stop, or does it automatically stop? Imagine if that's smashed in.
Well, you wouldn't.
Oh my goodness. So we just have to have the floor finished, a good old cleaning job, and then we've got our electrician coming over the weekend as well.
Yeah.
And it just looks fantastic. Oh my goodness, it really does.
It's great, isn't it?
Yeah.
Look at Vicky trotting over.
Oh,
it's nice.
sweet.
We've got a few little things happening. On Sunday, Darren's going to pop over. He's going to replace this with one that the rust is still on, and put the switches the right way. Replace this with a rusty one. And he's going to put all the plugs in.
Fantastic.
And then I think Mark or Steve hopefully will sync that slightly. That's a bit. It's fine. Just cut an edge out so that wiring that you see there will sit flush.
Okay.
So then you won't see that. Dickens.
Daddy, I really like it in here.
Daddy, I really need to work on my core.
Yes, it's a very long core.
You know, beach season's coming, and I need to get ripped at it. And I've got a bit of a tummy.
Oh.
Oh, it's so lovely. So that bit of oak here is exactly what's going on the front here.
Aha.
And the thing is, it looks quite new, but you have to appreciate that this Osmo will weather.
Yes.
And then it's down to us. It's always then at that point, next year, for example, do we say actually we preferred it before and we reapply Osmo, or do we just gradually let it weather? And it will go more silver. Oak will go silver if you don't keep treating it. So then it just comes down to personal preference.
Can you give a demonstration of how the doors open?
Yes, although I'm certainly not a pro because we've never had bifold doors before, have we?
Nope.
So obviously we have to do that bit. You just push them.
Wow.
I think maybe you should start this side though, I guess. Oh.
So the whole thing will open, obviously, aside from that central column. So we can have a truly open air workout if we so desire. We've become very accustomed to open air workouts.
Well, I think this is if you can do this is just game changing because it gives us that open air stuff, but it still gives the security, obviously, of the doors, and they're double glazed because this bit's not listed, so the warmth as well. So then we haven't got heating in here, but we're going to put a Dyson fan. Which
I don't think, yeah, exactly. We don't need heating.
Summer,
a Dyson
fan will come in handy in summer
for cooling us down, yeah.
Yeah.
And just purifying the air from it being a gym and all that.
And then we've got, look, and you should quickly show this. Where's the remote? So that's a timer, which is, I don't like how it looks, but that's why we've hidden it up there.
I don't think it's that offensive, actually. Is that the time?
Yeah, 6:30. And then look,
oh, it's great that it shows the time.
Yeah, you get the time, and then obviously it's a bit complicated. I need to figure it out how to set down the instructions, but obviously you can set the Tabata timers up, and it beeps as well.
Amazing.
So when we're doing circuits and stuff in here, Pixie, and then it's next week. Hopefully, I think Ed from Paragon Gym Stuff. I think he'll have the stuff here for
the weights.
Yeah, what's this carpet?
That's weird.
Probably when we have the doors here.
Fantastic. So, This is what we've been waiting for goodness knows 16 weeks. 16 weeks it's taken since we ordered these doors. Amazing local company called Floral, and they are absolute perfectionists.
Yeah, about 10-15 minutes away.
But they did a lot of the carpentry in the house, didn't they?
They're joinery.
Joinery.
Yeah. So I mean, I still don't. I think basically the difference between a joiner, they are still carpenters, but joiners have a lot more equipment. They normally have a big warehouse or a big, I don't know what you call it.
Workshop.
And then they have the machinery for this sort of thing. The average carpenter would struggle to make these.
Yeah.
I think.
But I have to say, just like the feel of the door handles. Gosh, they get spooked. Yeah, the quality and just, you know, when you feel something and it's really substantial, like just really, really well built. I mean, even the fact that I think you can hear that it's just such good quality. So we are very, very chuffed indeed with these. Really smooth glide. I'm going to see if I can shut these doors. Go and get these doggies and go and have our pizzas. Lights off. I'm a little bit blown away right now. Oh my goodness. We have just had a Friday night pizza and wine delivery from the Carolina Herrera team. Oh my goodness. This is to celebrate their new lip liquids, the new must-haves for the makeup obsessed. Oh my goodness. What a spectacular shade. We've got a few more shades in this little box here. Wow, cannot wait to give those a try. I have never tried Carolina Herrera makeup before, so I'm very much looking forward to doing so. But first, because I'm at that stage where I'm so hungry, I'm starting to feel a little bit dizzy. We have got to pop the pizza in the, it says oven, but we'll pop it in the Aga for 8 to 10 minutes and then drizzle with olive oil. So they've sent over Trattoria Herrera Fearless and Fabulous extra virgin olive oil, and then we have a Terre del Buontale. I'm sorry, I've probably butchered that pronunciation. Terre del Buontale. Terre del Buontale Toscana 2016. Beautiful, lovely wine. And oh my goodness, Trattoria Herrera. This is so exciting. Dun dun dun, ready to go in the Aga. I'm sure it'll poof up a little bit when it's been cooked. It smells absolutely delicious. So it's time to bake. And bake, is that the right word? Bake a pizza? Cook a pizza? I don't know. Time to bake because we have got rumbling tummies. It really is food delivery central here tonight. Charlie discovered somewhere that you can order some amazing bagels, right?
Well, right, so this started out when we had that Lanson kit for Valentine's, which we then also ordered for my mum and dad because it was so amazing for their birthdays. That was facilitated by Feast London. Feast London is like a really luxury catering company that do deliveries, but because of the pandemic, and this is what I love, there's a lot of positives to come out of the pandemic that the news just doesn't report on. They were really innovative and came up with Postbox Bakery because obviously all their corporate clients aren't having deliveries. And this supports Papo's Bagels, which is like a really cool bagel shop in London.
Right.
And so you just can order them and they're all delivered.
Epic.
And obviously my plan is to cut them in half and freeze them. And then we've got something that we can have as a guilty snack in the evening, because we sometimes have moments, don't we, at like 10 o'clock at night. And
we just want to have a bagel each. Yeah.
We can't get anything. So that's amazing. And then actually the chap who founded it called me because they were out of a certain bagel, which was amazing to even have a call from the founder. And then when he realised what we did, he's been really generous, and I've obviously bought these, and he's sent a few additional things.
That's so
they
kind.
do brunch kits, which I'm thinking of ordering for George and Petra, with smoked salmon. I think that's what's
wow.
in here.
How fantastic.
So look,
and by the way, I'm reusing all of these insulated bags for my bedding for my little seedlings so they have some frost protection.
I mean, we get sent a lot of things. We obviously are very lucky in that regard, but we are trying our best to recycle everything, of course, and then, but better than recycle, reuse.
Yeah.
So this is their Bloody Mary mix. Obviously, I'll be having it without the vodka. You can have it with the vodka. This is the smoked salmon that comes with the kit. Oat smoked salmon. Whipped cream, and this is obviously to have with the bagels.
With the bagels. What a dream.
I'll keep that for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's just, I think it's a great thing to have as a treat, but also if it's someone's birthday, Mother's Day has obviously been, but like as a gift, great gift idea.
So what's the company called?
Postboxbakery.com.
Good morning, my darlings. It is Friday morning. It is the most beautiful morning today. Once again, all go here this morning. Charlie has been zipping about, making sure that everything is happening as it should be today. We have got Nicholson's, of course. They're planting a few home oak trees, which is fantastic because they are really quick growers and very traditional looking for this style of garden, so that's going to look fantastic. And they are also adding the mulch to the herbaceous border at the front of the house, which I haven't actually shown you any updates of, so I'm definitely going to be doing a big garden update very shortly. I feel like my makeup looks really heavy today, and all I've done differently is wear a By Terry Ombre Black Star. I just smudged it into my eyelashes, but I also smudged it into my lower lash line, and I always feel like that makes my makeup look really intense. But also, I'm very happy with the colour of my complexion because I have been getting back into my tanning. It has been a while. I've just not felt the need to tan in so long, but actually on Monday is when the restrictions start to lift. We start to be able to socialise a little bit more. We're allowed to see friends in the garden. So I'm getting back on my tanning routine, which leads me to tell you very excitingly, I'm partnering for this part of the video with Bondi Sands, and I'm so excited to share with you their new range because I know that you guys are going to love it as much as I have been loving it. I have laid it all out here for you to see. As you can see, very different, quite minimalist packaging compared to the usual very bold, very bright Bondi Sands packaging. This is their brand new range, and it is their pure range. When I initially heard about this, I was really happy to hear that they are using 100% post-consumer recycled waste for the packaging, which is a massive tick. And then also ingredients wise, they have really refined the ingredients list, so there's no nasties in the tanning products, and yet you still get the most beautiful colour that you come to expect from Bondi Sands. So the ones that I've been using so far, these are the self-tanning drops. Now I think this is why I have been noticing such a really lovely colour change in my face. I started using these 3 days ago. I've used them twice now, just popping a few drops in with my moisturiser in with my serum in the morning. And obviously you can really build them up and adapt to a tan as deep as you like. And then if you want something really quick and easy, there is also this self-tanning face mist. Now it says face mist, but I will actually be using this on my hands. I have tried it a couple of times on my face so far, but I love using a mist on my hands. I'll show you my routine in a second. There's a gradual tan, which is great if you prefer more of a lotion style, just to gradually tan yourself. Does what it says on the tin, but this is also really great at keeping yourself moisturized and keeping your tan looking great after you've applied one of the more kind of intense tans. There's also a self-tanning sleep mask. So this, to be honest, this whole range has such lovely ingredients in it, including hyaluronic acid, vitamin C, and I believe it also has a little bit of vitamin E in there, so you're getting those lovely hydrating and nourishing effects of those ingredients. So that's what makes this a really good sleep mask, because it's got the nice ingredients in there that your skin loves, but it's also tanning you while you sleep. And then these are, in my opinion, the two heroes of the collection. We've got the self-tan foaming water in light, medium, and dark. Now these bottles have been redesigned without the traditional kind of very plastic heavy and metal. So because the materials were mixed, it made it much harder to be recycled. They have redesigned the pump system so that even though it's a water in here, it still foams up, which is absolutely incredible. The range is also fragrance and dye free, so when you're popping it on, there's no guide colour. I'm going to show you my full tanning routine in a second, and this is available now from Boots, so I'll leave a link in the description box down below. But now it's time to get tanning. I'm just about to pop on my kind of tanning YouTube outfit. Obviously it's quite challenging to fake tan on camera, but I'm going to do my best. But before I do, I wanted to give a huge shout out to these little pajamas. They are so adorable. This is from a brand called Sleeper that I have purchased from many a time before, and this particular set was very kindly sent by the Outdazzled boutique, and as always they just have the best selection. The buyers have the best eye, and everything that they get in there I absolutely love. So I will leave Outdazzled link down below. They've got so many lovely products coming in now for spring summer. So this is a gorgeous linen pajama top. So I showered last night and I didn't put on any moisturizer. I shaved and exfoliated 24 hours ago, and that is the prime preparation for popping on your tan. So because I am completely tan free at the moment, and this is pretty much as pale as I get, I'm going to start with the light medium tan. What you can do is 30 minutes after your initial application, you can pop on another layer if you want it to get a little bit deeper. I don't think I'm going to do that this time because I'm going to ease myself back into tanning. So it says do not shake and apply directly onto the skin and then rub in with your tan mitt. So let's give this a go. Application tips. I would definitely recommend popping a towel down on the floor. It's not a messy product at all, but if you don't really go for it when you're squeezing, I did find it dribbled just a tiny bit, so just kind of go for it and trust that it's going to foam. And I actually personally found it easier to put the foam onto the mitt as opposed to popping it directly on my skin, but I guess that's just personal preference. When it comes to doing my hands and my feet, what I tend to do is after I've done the application for my body, I will then go and wash my hands and then use whatever is left on the back of the mitt just to basically put the excess onto my hands. And then, as I said, I will keep my hands topped up with a tanning mist. For me, I just find that is the most natural application. And when I'm doing my feet, I'll do all of my legs in the usual way, and then again, whatever excess is left on the mitt, then I will just buff that into my feet. Now, in all honesty, I usually tan when I'm butt naked, so I'm going to go and finish off my tanning in the bathroom, and what I'm going to do is pop a before and after on the screen here, just so that I don't forget tomorrow morning. So this is going to be a little glimpse into the future, so you can see on the screen my natural colour, and also 24 hours later. So I'll shoot the after clip tomorrow morning so you can see what the light medium tan looks like when it develops. I wanted to show you the mess that we have woken up to in our bathroom this morning. It appears that our friends, the little birdies, have been very busy bees indeed. We believe that they are trying to make a nest, probably quite unsuccessfully. Yeah, given the amount of twiggage that is on the floor right now. This chimney, oh my gosh, look on top here.
I hope you've got planning permission.
Yes, everything in this house requires a lot of permission. I hope the birds are aware of that. This chimney hasn't been fully installed up at the top yet because of our... What would you call it? Stove. Because the chap Henry from Walker's Stoves, who is pretty much the Cotswolds' #1 stove fitter, he has been so busy over winter that actually he couldn't squeeze us in for these last few stoves. It's perfectly fine as it is, but it just means that it hasn't been fully secured up at the top. So when the nesting season is over and Henry has a little bit more time, we will of course be putting a cowl over the top, which will prevent this from happening in the future. But obviously we want to let little birdies create their homes and happily nest up there this spring. So no more fires in here for us, otherwise we'll have some toasted birdies up at the top of the roof. But this is actually a daily morning occurrence. Every morning we come down and see lots of our garden being brought into the bathroom. As much as I love bringing the outside inside with picked flowers, this is not quite what I had in mind. Today is a very special day for many reasons. One of which, because today is spring equinox here in the UK, so it is officially the first day of spring, that you wouldn't know it, aside from a few beautiful buds coming out. Just realised this is where I sat when I very first vlogged on our first morning that we woke up in this house. Oh my goodness, I get so emotional when I rewatch all of those vlogs. As anyone that's ever moved house before will know, it is a very, very emotional experience and a very exciting one, and I'm just so glad that we vlogged everything, and so we just have so many lovely memories to look back on. So I realise that I have been teasing a little bit, letting you know that something is coming, a bit of an announcement is coming, and I have to tell you now because we're actually about to go somewhere quite special. So, as I'm actually shocked that none of you have predicted that I've seen, we've bought another house. That feels so crazy to say, it really, really does. We have bought a beautiful little cottage not too far from here, and it is a business investment. We are going to be renting it out as a holiday let, and we are about to go and pick up the keys. Oh my goodness, it feels very, very surreal telling you. As you can tell, I'm incredibly excited. We fell in love with this property back in January after looking around a few cottages near here. Sorry, I just got interrupted by Charlie shouting upstairs. So yeah, that is the very exciting news. We are about to head into to the estate agents now to pick up the keys. We have been, you might have been wondering why we've been buying so much homeware lately, and that is why. This whole area, the study area, has just been full of boxes, full of duplicates, things that we've already got. I haven't brought you around here in quite a while because it has been pretty obvious that, that we are stockpiling in here. There's just so much to tell you, so much to fill you in on. It's going to be a really exciting journey that we can't wait to share with you. And the aim, the long-term aim, or medium to long-term aim, is that we can get the cottage renovated and decorated in time for this summer so that we can have some guests and enable maybe even some of you guys to come and experience the Cotswolds, our new favourite area in the world. So yes, you're joining us on a very, very exciting day. And so without further ado, let's go and get the keys. And so here we are in the cottage. We have picked up the keys, and I wanted to give you a little run through of how the cottage looks on day one. I'm pleased to see that there are some really pretty pink flowers growing out the front. I was kind of hoping that there would be, in that means that it does get enough sunlight to grow stuff, and it looks beautiful even at this time of year when not much else is flowering. I think they might be delphiniums. They look absolutely beautiful, and the cottage is already just gorgeous to look at. I can't wait to show you outside, probably in a different vlog. But the owner, the previous owner, left yesterday. She had two very big, gorgeous doggies. So there's a little bit of cleaning and tidying to do, which we're going to scoot around to do that now. And we're also going to make a big old shopping and to-do list. We've got our cleaning gloves, we have got our tape measure, so it's going to be a busy morning. We've got our jelly babies, we've got the essentials.
Liquid jelly energy.
Oh, they're chicks. Is this an Easter version?
Oh, right.
I just want to also say that we are doing a huge amount of work here, so it's going to be a real transformation. So I'm really excited to show you what it looks like now, because it'll be great to come back to this in a few months' time when it's going to look totally different. We're going for a real, just typical Cotswold country vibe throughout the whole cottage. Okay, so this is the kitchen. As agreed, the old owner has taken away all the appliances, and except for the oven, which I think you have to leave the oven. But yeah, that's perfect, because we'll be getting everything absolutely brand spanking new. We're actually completely redoing the kitchen. I've made loads of mood boards, and we're still just in the kind of final stages of agreeing a design. And I think we're going to be going for some beautiful green tones in here. Green and gold is going to be the colour theme for the kitchen. We're going to pop in a beautiful Belfast sink here with gold taps. She did have this pop-out island As you can see, it's quite a petite kitchen, but perfect for a little Cotswold staycation. But we don't think we're going to need this. We're probably going to put covers on the radiators. This type of radiator, although ugly, does kick out the most amount of heat, and they're all throughout the property. But we're most definitely going to pop some radiator covers on there. There is I'm not going to say lovely because we will make it lovely, but there is a courtyard here that has a lot of potential. I think yeah, let's go and have a look. And I thought it'd be really lovely to have a little breakfast table out there, and imagine just serving your breakfast up on the window, opening up. In fact, Char, let's open up all the windows and get some fresh air in. Here we are in one of the bedrooms. We don't know if it's going to be the master or the second bedroom, but
they're similar size, aren't they? I think the one up top I would pitch as the master bedroom, and this one I would say is the second master bedroom.
I think so
cozy
too.
Bedrooms.
But Charlie, obviously we were going to replace the carpet anyway, but we just pulled a little bit back, and we have found that there are floorboards in here, so it could just be rather lovely to spruce these up a little bit and just add some big rugs.
I think so. I think we might find a few might need replacing, like this one, but that's easily done, and it adds a lot more character.
Oh gosh.
What?
Yeah, it's quite damaged.
Yeah, but they're fine, structurally fine, and at the end of the day, I think if we sand them down, add a nice wood oil wax to them,
yeah, and
then obviously a big rug here adds coziness.
Yeah.
Because there's not actually, if you look at this room, there's character in terms of this and the old windows, but obviously you've got these draft protectors.
I wonder if we can get any better looking ones.
Yeah, we might be able to look into it because they're pretty grim, aren't they?
Yeah.
But look, I mean, that's why you need them, because look.
Gosh. So Charlie and I certainly have a penchant, is that the right word? Penchant?
Yeah.
For old properties. I think this property dates back to the 1600s. Is that what she said?
I'm not quite sure, actually.
I think it is 1600s.
But the point is, this would bring in character, wouldn't it? Because at the moment,
most definitely.
This room could be anywhere. It could be in London.
Yeah.
So I think the floorboards bring in character. I personally think if it doesn't cost us a fortune, we'll get all these doors sanded back down.
Yep.
And make them a bit more natural looking to match this.
Yeah.
That's the aesthetic we want.
Yeah.
And we don't want to have to replace these, but I think we can get them darker.
Oh, I think so. I think that would be a case of a quick sanding and an oil.
They've got nice door.
They almost look like
furniture.
Door furniture.
Terminology of the
They're
day.
not dissimilar to actually what we've got in the gym.
They're probably from the anvil.
From the anvil. Yeah.
I mean, this is a winner. If he's coming and staying here, because it's a lovely wardrobe. It'll be a lovely wardrobe. I think we wallpaper in there.
Yeah, make that really fun.
Yeah. That'll be awesome. This is a challenge. This is definitely a challenge.
That's where the stairs come up.
I think a nice big vase of dried flowers here. Something to take your eye off the fact that it is just a bit random.
Yeah.
Place all the sockets.
Yeah.
Obviously, I think we need a nice light colour in here. Possibly. What are we thinking? Possibly a wall of wallpaper?
I feel like that's quite dated to do just a wall. I think you have to go hard or go home. But where the ceilings are quite low in here, I think that this room potentially should be painted.
Yeah.
And maybe even, I know everyone's doing it, but maybe even panelling along that wall, because I just think that could look pretty cool.
Yeah.
We do love a bit of panelling.
Yeah.
Let us know your ideas down in the comments below. We always are very grateful for your ideas. So I whizzed upstairs straight from the kitchen, but we'll be replacing all of this carpet.
So this is the decision we need to make. I personally think, and we're going to have to get some professional advice as well, but let's, for argument's sake, say this is all
wood floor.
back to wood floorboards.
Yeah.
Stairs never good to have wood floorboards unless
Have
they
a runner.
are floorboards and then we have a runner all the way up. But I think maybe this also stays as wood floorboards, but we'll have to see what's under there.
Well, there's nothing stopping us ripping it up.
No, I think the bathroom, I'll be honest, is a lot smaller than I remember, but there is scope, a lot of scope in there.
Definitely. So I do also have lots of designs for the bathroom. Charlie and I are both super keen, unsurprisingly, of giving it a real Soho farmhouse vibe. So it's never going to be the biggest, bougiest, Instagrammable bathroom, but it's going to be really high quality bathroom bits in here. We're going again for a green and gold theme. I've already found some stunning, really natural, like organic, British made tiles, which I think will just really revamp this space. Some new floor tiles as well.
I think perhaps we keep the shower tray.
It's very rarely worth replacing a shower tray.
Well, yeah, and it's the perfect size.
Yeah.
The acoustics in here are mad.
Oh, it's completely empty, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's a lot cozier than I remember. And you know what? That's always the way.
It's fine. Yeah.
That's why it is good that they painted the beams in here, because it would feel a lot smaller.
Yeah.
Funny that we've got this exact sink set up on the top floor at
the house.
I think we've got this exact sink. You know, in the bathroom opposite the snug.
Yeah. How funny.
Mad. It's gonna go though.
Yeah. And then we have a second floor, or as you Americans would say, a third floor. And
do they do that?
Yeah, it's funny. When you're on the ground floor in America, that's the first floor.
Really?
Yeah. So this is super echoey and very blue at the moment, but I can assure you it is white, not blue in here.
This room has so much potential.
Yeah.
It's actually a pretty big room. This is the room, you know, when you look, and this is, when anyone's watching this that looks around houses, to be fair, we only looked around here twice. But when you buy a house, or when you finally able to look around without furniture, you'll find some rooms feel smaller, but this room feels a lot bigger, doesn't it? And imagine, this will be gone.
Yeah.
Now, this is where there is a debate between you and I, right? Because personally, this could be the room with wallpaper.
I 100% think so.
And I'm coming
Especially,
around to your ideas, but I did think that some wooden farmhouse cladding could look sick up here.
It could, but I think we need to decide that it's not farmhouse throughout. This is cozy cottage throughout. Like the vibe that we're going for is cozy cottage.
True, and then we'll have a nice, like little, like
dressing table.
Yeah, low boy or whatever for getting rid of all this.
No, darling, that's the chimney.
No, yes.
Oh.
Although, to be fair, actually, I say that, but this is not, if you imagine loads of little leather-bound books,
Cute.
that could be quite nice. And
Yeah.
a nice armchair here,
Yeah.
a low armchair,
Yeah.
and then some sort of small little table
Yeah.
with a seat, double bed, which is why it's the master bedroom. We'll have plenty of
Well, I
room for
actually think we can fit a king size in here, and I think we should.
Yeah.
I don't know how we're going to get it up here. Yeah, a little radiator cover.
I actually think wallpaper all the way.
Oh yeah, and I think the plan for the flooring in here will be to buff it so that we strip back the white, because I think the bare wood would look amazing in here. And then we've got these hooks on the wall. I guess at one point there was a rope. I know that Freddie has a rope coming up the stairs in her lovely apartment in London, and I know that she's looking at getting a pink velvet rope. I know that because I gave her the idea. And I think maybe we'll look at just, I think it definitely does need some support.
Yeah,
so I think perhaps we will get us an actual rope.
I think an actual, like a battle rope.
Yeah,
No, but you know what I mean?
a
Like
twisted
like
rope.
a natural coloured rope.
Yeah.
The light fitting is going to be crucial.
Yes.
I think the floor in here is an interesting one. Because you will feel smaller in here with the wallpaper. So
Yeah.
if you wonder about the floor,
What do you mean?
I don't think we want to keep it white, but
No.
I don't know. The one thing, as soon as we wallpaper in here, it will feel smaller. Do you know the one thing though, if we do wallpaper in here, I'm desperate to get these back to the original beams then. The original wood colour for these. Because then this one will be oozing with character.
Before Andrew does any painting, we'll have to ask him to come with all his various sanding devices, sand a little bit of the floor back to see how that looks, maybe in the middle because then it'll be covered by the bed, sand the beams back, see how they look. We're getting rid of this blockage here, so then that whole back space will be opened up.
I mean,
It's just a bit pointless. Was it added in as a wardrobe? That's a good point. This room doesn't have a wardrobe, darling.
no, I know. Well, that's fine, because we just need to give some thought to...
A little armoire.
Yeah, but I mean, yeah, we just need maybe we don't have, I think a makeup table maybe is a bit excessive. I think a small chair here with books, and then I think an armoire here.
That would create a bit of a block to look at when you come upstairs.
Well, my whole idea is there's no...
I know, because it's sloped there.
There is nowhere else in here. We have to get rid of that monstrosity in the corner.
We do.
And then this is...
Full of spiders.
Wow! Even I'm scared. I think we are going to have to block this off.
Yeah, send someone else up there. Anyway, I came straight upstairs and I didn't even show you the main living room space, which is beautiful.
Don't forget the lights, mate.
So So as you come down the stairs, I really have done this in a funny order. You can see we've got some beautiful wooden floors. And then here is the main living room space with beautiful wooden floors. We've got some gorgeous old beams in here and even more beams on the ceiling. You can only imagine my plans and inspirations for this fireplace area. We're going to replace this mantle with a beautiful oak mantle. You guessed it, we'll be popping a charnwood stove in there. The country four in almond, did we decide?
No, I don't think we decided almond. So almond country four is what we have in our bathroom.
I know, I think that would look lovely.
I actually personally think just a black, because it's traditional cottage. Yeah, if you're
Let
going
us know
by what
down
you're saying
below.
about above, I think.
Do you know what we should do?
black.
We should literally make this cottage like the audience decides.
Well, a few things. I'm open to that on the thing. But the thing is, we can't really make a decision on the stove colour until we know what the aesthetic,
The wall colour is going to be.
everything. And also, I am up for replacing this.
Really, I quite like the traditional tiles, yeah, and I think that's a big job for not much payback. I like
what
the.
What do we think about how I'd like maybe then we get an oak strip along here?
Yeah.
Something to hide the fact that this flooring's been done really badly. It has.
I think Mark would be able to do that. That would be fairly easy. And then we're just pondering at the moment, that would be a great place for storing logs. And it's funny, when we were doing the insurance for this place, there are so many regulations. You're not meant to store logs within a metre of your fire. So that's perfect under the stairs.
Yeah,
log storage.
Loads of logs under there. I think the layout, we've got a sofa coming.
Yeah.
I actually think the bigger sofa should go along here.
Yeah.
I think, and then a couple of armchairs there, personally.
So I have a really fun plan for this cupboard in the hallway. I would like to remove the door and turn this into a miniature boot room. Now, I've never actually seen this done before, but I think it's a really obvious thing to do in here. So imagine a boot room, but just a miniature scale version. So paneling, that's what's it called, tongue and groove paneling all around the edges, some nice brass hooks at the top there, a little tweed seat, and then just an area down at the bottom to pop your wellies in, and some umbrellas and things like that. We've got a very cute little front door which we'll be painting and replacing all the silver. I feel sorry for silver, but I think it looks so old-fashioned. We're going to be replacing everything with brass or gold, all the light switches. Of course, we've already placed a huge Jim Lawrence order for lots of new lights in here. We're really going to make it as luxurious as possible. So, just very excited to bring you along the journey. Need to find the keys to show you the little courtyard, which we will be making absolutely fabulous. And that's it. That is the tour of our brand new cottage. Oh my goodness, we're very excited to share the whole process of turning this into just a perfect, luxurious and yet cozy Cotswold cottage. So that's it, that's the big news. I hope you guys enjoyed this little tour, which I have majorly sprung on you. So now Charlie and I are going to go around with our notebook, do some cleaning and make a very big shopping and to-do list. Probably guessed that Charlie and I are becoming quite a fan of these at-home incredible meal deliveries, and this one is something quite different. This is a Gloucester Old Spot pork Wellington with chestnut, sage and apricot stuffing wrapped in prosciutto with a sweet cider jus, creamy mash, and it does look exceptionally creamy. And this is from the Fit Stairs Club, and this is their Cheltenham at Home hamper to celebrate the Cheltenham races that have been going on this week.
Hello, Cornelius Lycett here, lucky enough to be in Cheltenham reporting for Fit Stairs on Well Child Cheltenham Gold Cup Day. And can you sniff history in the air? Notes for the first time. I know plenty of you are.
Look at that.
That looks incredible. And I love how easy these are to make. Like, we have pretty low energy today, haven't we?
Yeah,
it's been one of those quite
day.
intense days. Right. Okay.
Life is fine. Things are not stressful. Just be calm. I think he's very nervous today about stuff, isn't he? Wow.
Goodness me. What a feast.
And then, might get a bit of whole grain. Now.
Good morning, darlings. Actually, good afternoon. It's 2:30 on Sunday afternoon. If my makeup looks weird, I've just plastered a load of fresh makeup on top of a very badly done makeup this morning. I basically covered my whole face in splots of paint because, oh my goodness, I have been finishing off the painting in my powder room. I'm absolutely exhausted. It's a shame because the sun has been out all morning. I've been desperate to get out into the greenhouse, and I think it's just clouded over, which is just typical now that I've finished. But gosh, this is the first time I'm so exhausted. I need to actually sit on the floor. This is why I like to do daily vlogs, because I feel like when I do vlogs across 3 days, like I have done here, I just pick up really strange parts of each day, whereas at least when I'm daily vlogging, I also vlog all the little bits in between, you know, the kind of boring bits, but I feel like they are the sandwich, they are the jam that sticks the sandwich together. So I'm sorry if this vlog has been very weird, with obviously the announcement of our cottage, showing you around there, and now just some random Sunday bits and bobs. So yes, I've come to the conclusion that I'm never going to attempt painting a room ever again. I'm not going to lie, I would give myself a solid 4 out of 10 for my efforts in there. I like to think that I'm a fairly creative person, but I just don't think I have the patience. I love seeing a transformation, and I'll always be chuffed when I go in there that, oh, I did this painting by myself. But as you'll see in an upcoming video, which I'm gonna basically document the whole powder room process, because I think things will move really quickly now, and it'll just, yeah, it's really gonna start to take shape over the next week. So I'm not going to show you how it looks in there right now. What I will show you is my mess. How lovely is this? But I mean, you can tell how messy I was even just by the state of the paint can here. But I painted the room in lick paint. They actually reached out to me on Instagram and asked me if I wanted to try some of their paints. And I looked at their website, thought it looked great, so I've painted the room in white 06, and it's just a very, very soft pink, but still mostly white. In fact, not too different to the colour in here. I'll give you a little sneak peek. You can see in there it's got a little bit of a pink hue to it. But from a time perspective and a quality of the finish perspective, let's just say I do not have a potential career as a painter decorator in me. So Andrew, you'll be pleased to know that you have got the job. You'll be doing all of the cottage. I just, yeah, not a naturally gifted painter, that is for sure. So I have a fun task to do now, and I hope that I have everything that I need in order to do it. I don't know if it was this vlog, I can't even remember where I started this vlog, or one before, but it was this vlog that we went to Dalesford, and I picked up the most amazing vase with little bunny rabbit hair kind of handles, and I would like to make an Easter display. So I'm going to take it outside and do a little bit of constructing on it and try and make a really beautiful Easter themed centerpiece for our entranceway table. No one's going to see it, just Charlie and I, maybe my mum if she potters in, but it's good practice for me, and if it turns out great, then I've had some practice for next year. Okay, so I'm going to do my Easter display out here on the marble table, and this is my selection of items that I'm going to be using. This is the fabulous vase that we got from Dalesford. It was eye-wateringly expensive, as everything else there is, but as we say, this is our forever home, and every spring this will adorn our entrance hall, so a worthy investment if you ask me. These little blue flowers, I actually think they are a weed. Many people refer to them as a weed, and I think they are called Macari. So yes, I paid £15 per bunch of weeds. The thyme is actually just something that lives out here on the table. And then I've got this bunch of stems, including some pussy willow, some little hydrangeas, some beautiful blossoms, various different flowers. I think that's actually a carrot flower. And then this is a bunch of flowers which is sadly coming towards the end of its life. It's still got some shape to it, so I'm probably going to use some of the twigs which hopefully still might come into blossom. I don't know if they're actually a little bit over. Not sure. We'll see. I might add them in for shape and then I can always swap them out again. I've got some soil for the bulbs, and then I've got a couple of plant pots as well, which hopefully might help me create a little bit of structure. A couple of little pots as well. I think we've got some moss from the garden that I can use to pad it out. This is the page that I've ripped out of Country Living magazine, and this is roughly what I'm using as my inspiration. I don't have any tulips or what are those little yellow flowers or little eggs either, but this is roughly what I'm going for. So I'm going to pop you on a tripod and see how we get along. Phase 1, and I know it doesn't look anything spectacular just yet, but I'm hoping that these are the bare bones and it will soon look wonderful. So what I did, not sure if you could really see during the time lapse, is if you look inside you can see that on the plant pot I made a kind of grid out of sticky tape, and this is because I wanted to have a little bit of structure instead of all of the twigs just kind of flopping out. So that's been the starting point. Then I added in, well, to be honest, I should have gone in with the big twigs first. I didn't do that. I will do that next time to create a little bit of structure and then go in with the more floppy ones. But we are learning each time we do this. I just kind of went in at random intervals. I should have also got a couple of these blossom structures. Next, what I think I'm going to do is try to create, well, I'm going to pot these little guys next into my little biodegradable pots. Charlie is desperate for me to show you his new ladder.
I mean, seriously, this is pretty epic, and it extends. So I think it goes up to about here.
Well, that is very exciting.
It's game changing for gardening.
You can use it to chop me some nice high cherry blossom branches.
Do you know what I can do?
What?
I can literally just sort of in the summer just come up here and just chill.
Like a lifeguard. Plonker.
See for miles.
So,
Bird watching.
jolly good. So I'm going to plant a couple of my Macaris and see how they look just kind of nestled in there. I might have to just take a little bit off the top of the plant pots. Let's see, I might try putting the plant pots in first. What do we reckon they've done here? I reckon maybe they did the plant pots first. Never mind, let's pot the Macaris up and see how it looks. The good thing about these biodegradable pots is that they are very squishable, so you can mould them into whatever little gaps you want. So I've managed to squeeze 3 into the base of the display. Now what I think I'm going to do is add a load of water, give everything a good old drink, and then I'm going to use some moss just to pad out, well, basically to hide the plant pots and just once again to help with that structure. Next thing I'm going to do is add some garden moss to the base. So this was in the garden under the trees where we've been transplanting snowdrops. So where we've been digging up the ground to pop the new snowdrops in, we just kept some of the moss. Hopefully this will help to create a little bit more structure down here at the base, also hide the plant pots and hopefully keep a little bit of the water in. So a good way of reusing the garden moss, and hopefully it'll be a really nice finishing touch. And the moss is in. I'm losing track over what I've said on the vlog and what I've said on Instagram stories because I've been documenting the process on Instagram as well. But the moss just really looks beautiful, even quite roughly just prodded in there as you saw me doing a second ago, overhanging the edges. I'm trying to get rid of any soil bits, so it's just the green that we really see. There's bits of clover in there as well, which I don't particularly want, but the moss is a fantastic addition. You can probably get some from a garden centre or a florist if you don't have any in your garden or in your borders, or if you live in an apartment and you want to create a miniature version of this, you could definitely get all of these bits and bobs from a garden centre. But the moss is also really helping with the structure, so I've actually used it to kind of prod back some of the twigs and added into the fact that we made that grid in the plant pots. It was just one of these plant pots and I literally just used, where is it? You know, just a standard tape. I'm really glad I made that structure because it's really helped to keep the twigs where I put them. So you can see now it's a really beautiful round shape. I'm going to give it a really good watering, check that it looks good from every angle, and then I think I'll just take some pictures and hope that it looks good for a little while because I'm really happy with this, and I definitely think I'll be doing something like this every Easter. Okay, there we go, table cleaned up, and I am very happy with this. I feel like it really kind of pulled together with the addition of the moss, so I would definitely recommend adding that in if you are trying it yourself. Going back to the original, I guess where they've got the eggs and a little bit more bulb action going on down here, that's their structure, whereas mine is a little bit more natural, a little bit more wild and rustic, but I'm very happy with this. It's really nice to see the muscari, I think it's called, coming out as the little bulbs from the bottom. The moss just looks really beautiful. And then hopefully these branches at the top will very shortly come into bloom as well. And then there were 2. I thought, what can I do with the muscari that I have left? So I potted around to find another pot, and I have made a miniature version for Lila. I'm going to take this over to the coach house now. I think it probably needs to remain an indoor feature, but very happy with that. My 2 little spring displays. Mum's one is a little bit more focused on the muscari. Hopefully they last. It's got a very similar structure inside. I just did a hyperlapse again on my Instagram stories. I might add them to a highlight so you can see exactly how this one was constructed. Not bad for an hour's work outside in the garden. Well, it is safe to say that this is the perfect size arrangement for the entrance hall. I haven't tweaked it yet. I need to just pop a few more twigs in straight. It's a shame that there are so many boxes everywhere because we are going to the cottage again tomorrow. But I will show you how this looks in the daylight tomorrow morning because it is starting to get a little bit dark outside now. What do you think, Dexy? Gosh, you need a haircut. but I think that the vase looks fabulous on the marble table. I think it really suits the space having such height to the display, so I definitely think that more kind of branch style displays is what I will be going for in this space. But now it's time for me to pop on the kettle, make myself a cup of tea, have a hot cross bun, because this evening's Sunday video has just gone live. Feels like quite a while since I actually spoke to the camera, but I'm just having a very kind of casual, somewhat scruffy Sunday, so I've been minimising face to camera sections. But I'm really pleased with how my little, what would you call them, spring planters turned out. Great reaction on Instagram stories as well, so hopefully you spotted those. And I thought I was going to go inside and just have my cup of tea in there, but then, as you can see, the sun has just come out for the rest of the evening. The skies have cleared out and it is rather beautiful again. So even though my legs feel like jelly, I've just been on my legs all day. I've come into the greenhouse because I just want to do a little bit more planting. I really can't bear to be inside when it's sunny, so that's why I'm so unproductive in summer. But let me show you what I'm going to be doing. As you know, I have a bit of an obsession with reusing things, and my current obsession is reusing things and turning them into plant pots. So as I think I showed you previously, these are the little supports that my paint came in, and they're really great little planters. I've also got some coffee cups. I've also rinsed out, where is it? Oh, here. I also rinsed out the coffee cup from my chai latte that I had at Dalesford last week, on Friday rather. And then, as you can see, lots more toilet rolls. Thankfully, Charlie has got in the habit of bringing them down for me, because they really are the best plant pots, because obviously you just pop them in the ground, the roots can happily come out the bottom and they just biodegrade, so there's no root disturbance. I think egg boxes as well, they'll biodegrade too, but then things like my raspberry trays, these of course won't biodegrade, so I need to put things, I think I'm going to probably put some Cosmos in there, or actually it's probably the exact right size for my Declé or press release. Almost, I might just rip it up a little bit, so that can be perfect for some seed paper. Yeah, just about, that's rather perfect. So we'll see if the seed paper grows. I don't think, where is it? Yeah, so this is the only other seed paper that I've ever tried planting, and it's not doing very well, so I'm not going to waste a proper plant pot on it, but we shall see. I was thinking as well, oh my gosh, these are my sub-pod what do you call it, composters. I think I'm going to see if anyone in the village can build me, I'll pop a picture on the screen here, a rustic, something like this, and then I'll pop it in that gap there. These are really cool. You basically submerge them within like a raised bed, but I don't want to put them in those raised beds because I need as much space as I can get, so I'm going to hopefully get a couple of beds built. We've got lots of leftover wood and we'll have even more after my dressing room, powder room has been done. So yeah, hopefully I'll be able to, someone, maybe even the carpenters that are doing the powder room, might be able to build me some wooden planters and I will pop those in. But I might also have a little look on Amazon or IKEA to see if I can get just some metal shelves, because I need to measure how tall this area is. As you can see, I've completely run out of space and I want to continue planting more seedlings. So I think some shelves could be a really good way of maximising this space, and I can definitely tidy this up even more. Obviously the pots I'm probably going to use very soon for potatoes and carrots and things like that. So I definitely think I can fit some shelving in there. In fact, let's go and get the tape measure and I can get those ordered now. I was even thinking about a miniature greenhouse to go there, but I think with the planter it'll be a little bit more attractive. I could even put a row of seedlings down there potentially. Still looks all a little bit messy around here. While we've got Nicholson's in, they're going to be doing the flower beds tomorrow. It's going to be a huge transformation. minutes of planting later, and we have, I've just realised this is a fully recycled planting area. Even the tray is the tray that I was painting on earlier, which I think is excellent. And then we've got the raspberry and strawberry punnets at the front here. We've got the coffee cups, which for the first two I forgot to pierce little holes in the bottom until after I'd put soil in, so the drainage on those might not be quite so good. And then the toilet roll tubes, so quite the collection here. We've got Cosmos, Calendula, and then the 2 seed papers at the front. This is what I'm really enjoying doing, just coming out in the early evening and doing a little bit of planting. I feel like if I do 20 minutes like this just 2 or 3 times a week, then it keeps it manageable. I've definitely gone overboard with the amount of seeds that I've planted for my first proper year of planting, but I'm finding it incredibly therapeutic. I like to just pop a podcast or a YouTube video on in the background. And yeah, it's going to be really fun to see what grows and what does well, if I can handle this amount of planting when it comes to that time. But just to give you a little update, the cauliflower is sprouting. My mystery bulb is doing really well here. Broad beans starting to come out in their toilet roll tubes over here. The radish is starting to come out a little bit, as is the purple sprouting broccoli. The peas are looking really good in their little pots over here. Not much sign of life over there. A couple more peas here doing well. Cosmos in the back there. I just bought these into the greenhouse. They were in the shed window there, but they were starting to get very leggy. So these are some Cosmos here, which probably, to be honest, I don't know if they'll do very well now they've got so leggy. I should have kept a closer eye on them. My glow bar seed paper starting to shoot, some lettuce starting to come to life here, a few more Cosmos, and then I've shown you all of these bits already. Looking very leggy over here, and my peas are, I would say, almost ready to go out. Both Charlie and I have been super duper busy bees today. Charlie has been painting all the beams in the gym. It will be finished tomorrow, is that right, darling?
Well, yeah, I mean, the only annoying thing is always the way is with the electrics. So basically, Darren couldn't finish doing the plugs today because the floor has to be done.
Yeah.
So then he'll have to come back and do that, which is fine.
That's the one thing with building work. It's chicken or the egg, isn't it?
That's where we've saved money, obviously project managing this sort of stuff ourselves and getting individual tradesmen. But if you have a project manager, if you have a bigger project, these are the sort of things that
they line it all up.
Just sort it all out.
Yeah.
But it's fine. The gym flooring, which it will be down tomorrow, basically the doors held everything up. So the flooring will be down tomorrow, and this is like a 4-month project, start to finish. I've done most of the beams. I've still got one to finish, but it's not the one because we've got a photo shoot on Friday in there, which is exciting. Whether I'll have time to do the final beams, I'm not sure, but I don't really think they're integral to the photo shoot. And then what else have we got going on? Tomorrow's exciting because then the herbaceous borders start. And then you've got some stuff going on in your powder room as well, haven't you?
I do. So the point I was making is that we've both been incredibly busy. We both have exceptionally achy legs and hungry tummies. So would you like to explain what delight we have for dinner?
So, firstly, the long story, Hawksmoor is my all-time favourite restaurant. Fact. You've probably heard me mention it before. There's about 5 or 6 in London. Amazing, known for their steak. They do amazing Sunday roasts. My mum and dad got us a similar kit to this as a thank you in January, didn't they? As a real treat, because they're not cheap, but not expensive. I'd say they're high end price. But basically, long story short, Hawksmoor contacted us and they were like, "We want to send you one."
That's
and
the dream.
Literally, that made probably my whole week waiting for this. So they have very generously sent us this kit. It's called Hawksmoor at Home. I think there's about 4 or 5 different kits. They do sell out. Most months, and they're just a brilliant sort of treat or gift for someone, I think. So anyway, yeah, so I mean, we've obviously got to start with, which is what we didn't have in the last kit, which is exciting. We've got Hawksmoor belly ribs to start with a pickled slaw. So that's going to go on in a second. Then we've got a dry aged T-bone. Honestly, I will challenge you to find a better steak restaurant in London. It's between Hawksmoor and Goodman, and I would always go Hawksmoor. Beef dripping chips, which don't look great, but they are amazing. So
they look great when they're cooked.
Yeah, so hold fire until they're cooked.
They are actually the most incredible thing in the world.
They are.
Cream
cream
spinach.
spinach, which is also, I think, as much a necessity to a steak as a mac and cheese. And we're not having mac and cheese steak because we've got this and we've got the starter. Peppercorn sauce. And
Yay! We didn't have that before, did we?
No, I don't
Peppercorn?
think we did.
No.
And then a load of, this also comes with a set. Now obviously, if you and I were ordering it, we'd probably order the non-alcohol one, which you can do. But because they kindly sent this, they sent the alcohol as well. Now this is something you'll enjoy, sour cherry Negroni.
Nice.
Then we've got the session IPAs, which is funny because I always thought a session IPA was like a low alcohol beer that you could drink when you're having a session. That's what I thought it was. But this is 4.5%, so I'm obviously totally wrong. And then what looks like, I know nothing about wine, but what looks like a lovely bottle of red. So, in short...
And we did have the sticky toffee pudding last night.
We ate the sticky toffee pudding last night, yeah. Guilty. But I think the key thing is here, A, if you want to treat yourself, because obviously none of us are eating out at the moment.
Treat yourself.
Treat yourself to 2011. Treat yourself to 2011. Fine leather goods. If anyone
Mimosas.
gets that, put it down in the comments if anyone knows that reference.
Massages.
But also, if I'm honest, this is an amazing, for anyone that's not a veggie or vegan, this is an amazing birthday gift, isn't it?
As long as you're not veggie or vegan.
Yeah, I don't think, I'm sure there's veggie and vegan options.
I'm sure. Right, darling, well, get cracking, because I am hunger bunga.
Boom.
15 minutes in the Arga later, and what are they? Pork ribs?
Belly, well, they're called belly short ribs, aren't they?
Belly short
They
ribs.
just call them belly ribs and pickled slaw.
Belly ribs.
Oh, so
Apparently it's one of the most popular starters at Hawksmoor.
So yeah, on our menu since day one, these have been one of our most popular starters, all perfect for a light lunch. I actually don't think I've ever had these because I wouldn't normally have a starter at Hawksmoor. I'd normally go in for a massive steak
And loads of sides.
loads of sides and dessert.
Yeah.
So I'm excited for this.
Bon appetit. Round 1. Oh my goodness, our mouths are watering.
Literally salivating.
So much I can barely talk. This looks incredible. So we've got, is it a T-bone steak?
T-bone steak, dry aged. The cream spinach.
Oh, yes.
Do you know what? That's one reason to get this because that is quite a lot of hassle to make cream spinach, I think. I've done some 10-stem broccoli. Got the peppercorn sauce, or equally that would be a lot of effort to make, I think.
They are just honestly the best chips in the world.
This is just dreamy, isn't it?
I think we should.
We've been very productive.
We have
earned this.
We have earned this.
Oh, early night, early morning.
Yep.
Right, let's do this, mate.
Let's do this. Get plating, mate.
Moment of truth. I don't know how to cut a T-bone. I think I'm probably going to go down.